Hi, welcome back. Today I want to show you how to hand stamp this stamping connector with an initial that I will then weld as a permanent bracelet. It is a great way to super customize jewelry that is meaningful. And there are different stamping discs out there in the marketplace of different sizes, and in this case I am going to use one that is very petite, delicate and oval, so that it works well with a fine chain. So I'm going to start with showing you how to hand stamp this stamping disc connector that is gold filled, so that later on we can add it onto a permanent bracelet. So this actually has enough room for a couple of initials, but I think I'm going to just do one. And I'll put this here. For hand stamping, you need metal block because it needs to be a hard, flat surface. You can't just do it on, say, wood, because what is going to happen is when it is soft, the pressure will warp this disc. So we have blocks of metal that is tempered steel for that purpose. Here, this one is very fine and smooth surface, which is perfect. But say if you had an old one or an anvil, or and you don't want, in this case, to mark up what's at the back, which says here that it is gold filled. So what I'm going to do, what you can do, is to have a smooth surface, either very fine felt, but in this case, I'm just going to put a piece of paper, which will help if your metal underneath is smooth enough and not bumpy. If it is bumpy, then you might need layers of leather. So just going to do this so that it is going to be smooth. And I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to put just the letter C. And I like to mark things up in the center to be in the center. And what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to tape down to hold it. Everyone has a different setup, but I'm just going to do this so that's equal on both sides, and it gives me a visual guide. And this is a stamping set that I have, and they are 1/16 of an inch. That's the size, and I'm going to do a letter C. And what really helps me, I find, is that I mark on this piece of paper where the center is. So then I line it up, and sometimes you can see from the reflection of the piece, or sometimes you have letter sets where there's a center line that marks it. So I'm going to see the reflection, and I think I'm happy with this, like that. And don't worry if it's not totally centered. It's not a bad thing that it's imperfect, because really it's hand stamped. So now I just need one good strike. And there we go. Not sure if you can see that. Okay, I hit it rather hard, so it went down a little. And if you need to straighten it out, you can either get a very smooth block like this and tap it, or if you don't have one, wrap. See, this is an old hammer. What you can do is wrap several times around. so it's somewhat padded. Okay, so that we know that's smooth. And then also use, and you don't want to hit it too hard, and that will straighten it out. There we go. I love marking these things as a guide. Now, if it is the case that you want this to stand out more, I'm going to use a marker thereafter and mark the crevice like this, and then I can erase the outside. Okay, so I'm going to do this bracelet. Double check that I've done it tightly. Then clip the ground. Power's at 7.5 watts. For my jump ring, that is 24 gauge. That looks good. I'm just going to double check. Excellent. So the best way is do this, hold on to it, make sure that it's flat. And not all twisted. Bring it out this way. Close it like this. Like such. And I'm going to check to make sure I see the seam. Okay. And then you know you've done a good job when you can't find it. There we go. And always double check with 2 pairs of pliers that it doesn't pop open. Perfect. And there we have initial ID bracelet that's permanent. There are many pre-made initial connectors on the marketplace, but a stamping disc allows you the flexibility of multiple letters as well as designs. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed that. This stamping disc, as well as many components for permanent jewelry, is available wholesale. That's what I do. I don't sell the micro welders. I'm going to leave some more information below with respect to some of the components I've used, as well as a link to my online store and information on the Orion micro welder.